Oh, good afternoon. All right. I'm Ta-biti Gibson. I'm the Restorative Justice Coordinator at Edna Brewer Middle School. Very quickly, we have the largest peer restorative justice leadership team in the country. So there are 94 students that practice restorative justice at Edna Brewer, and we have a lot of fun doing that. As a matter of fact, I left the school from my restorative justice enrichment class coming here, and so I have 60 students in that class, and they gave me a challenge for coming here to be with you all. And that challenge was, we have a way of opening our classroom every day and opening circles sometimes when we do an opening, and that is called warm, humble hands. So they asked me, my students challenged me to have you all do warm, humble hands with me. So it goes like this. You rub your hands together, you feel your heart while you're rubbing your hands, and on three, 1, 2, 3, very simply, we open our hands to each other. And we're presenting our hearts. So let's all do it together one more time. Warming our hearts, 1, 2, 3. I wish I could have got that on film. We did. I wonder if I can get that film. I need to get that for them. All right.
They need proof.
Yeah, they're going to need proof because they're going to say, Mr. Gibson, did you really? And I'm going to say, yeah, because that's what middle schoolers do. That's why they're so wonderful. All right. Again, we're a thriving restorative justice practice school, and I'm honored to be a part of it. Who here knows about restorative practices? I've heard it I feel like I've been introduced because it's been mentioned a number of times. Who's been in a restorative circle? Restorative justice circle. That's good. That's pretty good. That's about a third. So I'm going to go through what I take. Every year I take my students through 2 days of training. They work with their teachers and their parents, and they're literally out of class when they can be. And they're with me for 2 days in a row training in restorative practices to then go out on our campus and in our community and practice restorative ways, okay? So we have visited over 30 different elementary schools and done circles with 30 different elementary schools. Last year, during the summer, I took 14 students to Denver, Colorado, to the Restorative Justice International Conference, and for the first time there were middle schoolers there presenting. My students did a workshop on women's equality, and another group of students did a shift and share on transgender rights, and they were the talk of the conference for about a whole day. So we're in a place, because of support at that school and this district, to where we can really thrive. My perspective is to do it through student work. So it's a student-up-based program the way I do it. And it's working at our school because we have, again, 94 students that are in every classroom and walking the campus every day with this practice at their hands. So we have all the data that shows we're doing much better in suspensions and conflict and everywhere else. So what I'm going to share with you is just something I share with them in this 2-day training, okay? I push green, right?
Yes.
All right. What does this have to do with restorative practices? It's a musician. Right. Practice. Restorative justice, first and foremost, is a practice. Every day in my enrichment class, we end the class with, RJ is what? Students say practice. Who's the best teacher? Silence and self. Okay? So that's how we end our class every day. RJ is a practice. Who's the best teacher? Silence and self. This is a basic definition for restorative ways. It's a practice to involve techniques that build a community's flexibility to the extent possible, those who have a stake in a specific offense, and to collectively identify and address harms, needs, obligations in order to heal and put things as right as possible. Okay, so that's RJ in a nutshell. But again, it's a practice, so it's human movement. And we've seen a lot of, we like 3 tiers, I guess. We see a lot of 3 tiers today. This is our tiers, but of course ours is in circle because it's RJ, right? And we do circles. So tier 1 is the large brown circle, and we're dealing there with social emotional support and restorative conversations. Tier 1 is community building circles. If you're doing restorative practice properly, then you concentrate on tier 1 emphasis, okay? You want to do a lot of community building and relationship building on the campus. So when you think tier 1, think relation. Tier 2, the yellow, is what everybody tends to concentrate on, and that's the sensational. That's the harm and conflict. You have a fight, there's disagreements. You come together, you solve it. It feels really good. So it's easy to concentrate on that, but there's a mistake concentrating on that part of it, because if you don't build tier 1, then when tier 2 happens, there's no basis for holding that space. And tier 3 is individualized. That's when, for instance, if a student gets suspended or they're away sick, there's a way to bring them back with a restorative circle. One word, why? Reduction. It reduces these things. It really does. I've seen it work. This is a basic process of a tier 1 circle. You have an opening, there's check-ins, there's things you do, there's activities you do to create relationship in that circle, to create relationships between the individuals. I do on my campus as many mediations and tier circles with adults as I do students. And my students also do tier 1, tier 2. They don't do too many tier 3, but tier 1 and tier 2 circles all year. They get trained in it and they do that work. They hold it. The basic formation of a flow chart for a circle. Basic restorative conversation questions. What happened instead of what's wrong with you? Because in middle school, you get to see the total evolution of humanity in a matter of an hour. You could see everything from the most base to the most profound. So it's easy to say in middle school, what the heck is your problem? What's wrong with you? Why did you do that? It's better to say, what happened? What were you thinking? Who did that affect? It makes a difference in a simple question change. Tier 2 is harm again, and that's just what they see. On the campus, only 7th and 8th graders do tier 2 work. 6th grade only get tier 1. They get profound at relationship building. And in 8th grade, you get to see all 3 tiers. That's how I handle it on our campus. It's just another mode of a mediation circle. It's a little different. Tier 3, this is when, again, a student or a faculty member may be away from school for a while. We bring them back with circle. We like the circle at Edna Brewer. You'll walk through the hallways, you'll see teachers in circle all the time, a lot. So it's a good feeling, but it's a culture shift that takes a while. You have to work on it, and you have to implement it and have all the pieces there that can hold it properly. Just another form of listening, ears. And basically, what is James Baldwin saying? What am I demanding of other people is what I am demanding of myself first. And that's just basic human good stuff, right? I bet you I'm ahead of 2 minutes, aren't I? I am. Wow. Okay. Really? I'm at 1? Oh, I wanted to be done in 2. All right. I'm so honored to be here with you all today. Carla, thanks for continuing to work with me and send those emails, because I wasn't so good about getting back at you at first. Thank you so much. Thank you all.